Hi guys, today we're cooking the farfalle pasta with sun-dried tomato cream sauce from our Fat Sparrow meal kits. I'm just going to get unpacking the recipe. We've got our arugula, shallot, garlic, parsley, sun-dried tomato cream sauce, some dressings and some other goodies in there. I've got some seasoned breadcrumbs, grated Parmesan cheese, mystery package, the bow tie pasta, the farfalle, some zucchini, and some cucumber. Let's get cooking. All right, now we're in the kitchen making farfalle pasta with sun-dried tomato cream. This dish actually originates from one of the first restaurants I ever worked at. This was one of our most popular dishes. We did it with chicken instead of zucchini. We're trying to keep things a little more plant-based these days, so we're gonna do it with zucchini. If you wanted to add chicken, you certainly could, but it's beautiful the way it is. So step one, we've got a pot of water on, coming up to temp. I'm just gonna dump a good amount of salt in there. Again, we want our pasta to taste good, so we gotta make sure our water is seasoned. So we'll just put a lid on that until it comes back up. As soon as that's boiling, I'm gonna add the pasta. The next thing I'm gonna get going is the zucchini. So I've got, as you've come to know, I love my cast iron. I've got a nice cast iron pan getting hot. We've got this beautiful zucchini here. I'm just gonna trim off the top and the bottom, cut it down the middle lengthwise, and then we'll go into half moons with it. You can cut these as thin or as thick as you like. Personally, zucchini is not my favorite vegetable, so I'm gonna cut them nice and thin so that they kind of melt their way into the sauce and make less of an impact, but they still have that lovely texture that I'll enjoy. If you're a big fan, I recommend leaving them in big chunks. So my pan's got a decent amount of heat to it. I'm gonna put in a good amount of olive oil. Zucchini is one of those vegetables that just really loves oil, so we don't wanna be too shy with it. Okay, so now we're gonna add our zucchini to our frying pan. In it goes. I fear if we stir it around too much, we're just gonna turn it into a mushy mess. So I've got it in there, it's gonna stay put, I'm gonna season it later. In the meantime, our pasta water is just about coming to a boil, and we'll dump our farfalle in there. Farfalle is Italian for butterfly, as you can see why. Some folks call it bow tie pasta. You can also see why. It's appropriately sized for me too. Okay, so our zucchini is searing, our pasta water is boiling. Time to dump in our noodles. This water is seasoned. In they go. As always, you want to give your noodles a bit of a stir right at the beginning, because this is the all-important moment to make sure they don't stick together. So that's going. This dinner comes together really quick. The next thing I'm going to do is start working on my seasoned breadcrumbs. So these breadcrumbs are a secret weapon for almost any food. If you've got a dish that's not quite perfect and you need to add some texture to it, take some old breadcrumbs, season them up with whatever you want, garlic, shallots, herbs, and just sprinkle those on top afterwards. Really a lovely addition to salads, pastas, macaroni and cheese, all kinds of things. So for the breadcrumbs, I'm just doing a nice fine dice of the shallot. You can do it sliced, you can do it in big chunks, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm fancy, so I'm gonna do it nice and small dice because I want it to match the shape of my breadcrumbs. Make sure my pasta is still good, moving around in there. And then I'm gonna cheat, I don't like doing too many dishes. Use the same spoon to stir my zucchini. So now that my zucchini is browning up nicely for me, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I didn't wanna add the salt at the beginning because salt will weep away moisture from the dish, making it hard to brown the zucchini up. But now that it's already browned, I can go ahead and do that. So into the pan goes a little bit of salt. So for my breadcrumbs, I've got a little bit of olive oil in the pan. I'm gonna put a little bit of those diced shallots. I'm gonna add some minced garlic. Remember how I like to mince garlic? Just give it a good smack with the back of a knife and you're halfway there. And then a quick chop and you're the other half of the way there. Into the pan that goes. I did deliberately add my shallots before my garlic because I don't want the garlic to have an opportunity to burn on me. The shallots will start the cooking process first, so it'll give us a good opportunity. Little spoon, give this a little mix about. And I'm just gonna let that cook for another minute or two. I am gonna add some salt to that too. And let that go. My zucchini is nice and browned. So I am going to add the pre-made sun-dried tomato cream sauce that we sent you in your box. So it's time for that to go in. Our garlic and our shallots are nice and browned. It's time to add our breadcrumbs. In they go. Now, from here on out, we want to be really careful not to overcook it, because it's going to soak up all that oil and it'll be really easy to scorch this. So I'm going to leave my heat on simmer, and I'm just going to let this continue to sort of toast as we go. But that is going to be probably my favorite part of this whole dish. Now, while our pasta continues to cook, our sauce is simmering away beautifully. It smells fantastic. Those deep raisiny sort of flavors of the sun-dried tomatoes. Smells awesome. I'm gonna cut our cucumber up. So we're gonna cut this the same way we did the zucchini. I've cut it in half lengthwise, and then we're just gonna do nice half moons. And then we'll just toss that in with our bowl of arugula here. And we're almost ready to plate. So I have my pasta cooking away. I think it's only about a minute off. I've got my sauce, it's fully incorporated now into my zucchini. Looks amazing. I'm gonna toss my vinaigrette into my salad here. So we're just gonna give this a nice toss, and that's ready to go. And we can set that aside and get plating our pasta. All right, time to check our pasta again. The thing about bow tie pasta is the center part, where it's been pinched together, does take an additional minute to cook. So you always kind of want to make sure, once again, that you're always checking by eating it. You know what? It's perfect. So time to drain that. If you're cooking this at home and you don't want to be rushed by all of this, you can drain this, put a little oil on it, and lay it out on a sheet pan until everything else is ready. But I managed to get it all ready at the same time. So I'm just going to drain it and go right back to the pot. Okay, our noodles are drained. Pasta sauce is hot. I'm just gonna go right into there. Perfect. Now I'm gonna put this back over here on some gentle low heat, just to kind of fold all those ingredients together. And then the final step is to just to mince up some more parsley to garnish our breadcrumbs with. So as before, just give it a really nice chiffon into the breadcrumbs. Those go. And then using our spoon, just mix that around. And those are done. Okay, now it's time to plate. Our pasta is really well soaked up that sauce. The zucchini look lovely. I know you guys can't smell this, but you will in your own kitchens, and it's amazing. So it's a really simple plate. Just heap some of that pasta in the bowl. Try and make sure you put a few of these nice zucchini and sun-dried tomato pieces on top. And then the final touches, a little bit of the Parmesan cheese and a little bit of breadcrumbs. Simple dish, but nicely elevated by the sun-dried tomatoes and the breadcrumbs. And that's it, a really beautiful dish. This brings me right back to my apprenticeship days. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks a lot for supporting us. Thanks for cooking bow tie pasta with me. And from Chef Nick and everybody at the Fat Sparrow Group, thanks for your support and thanks for buying a meal kit from us. Cheers, bon appetit.